Hello, Tegan. This is the second day of chapter review, or of semester review, I guess. We're on number 19. And here we go. Determine whether the dilation from A to B. That means you're starting with A. Which one's A?
Reduction. It's a reduction. A.
This one's the start. This one's the end.
It's small,
Okay?
so it's
It is a reduction because it is smaller.
That's not my pencil.
Okay, but then we have to determine the scale factor.
End over beginning.
It is end over beginning. Okay, so how would you do this if you're trying to figure out end over beginning for this shape? End over beginning.
I'm gonna go with the side.
Which side?
The bottom, the straight one that you can count on.
Like the bottom of the triangle, like the
like
vertical
the flat
side, like this
side.
side. That's the easiest one to count, right? So what is this side? The bottom side here. 3, and this guy is 4. And end over beginning means
3 over 4.
3 over 4. Or it's 4 over 3, but since it's a reduction, it has to be a number that's less than 1. So 3/4 is what it is.
Can you go over?
Okay? Does that make sense? If you read it as 4/3, make sure you check to see if it's consistent with reduction, right? Reduction has to be 3/4. Good? All right, draw a picture. When a 5-foot vertical pole casts a 3-foot 4-inch shadow, an oak tree casts a 20-foot shadow. Find the height of the tree. So we have a pole, it's casting a shadow, and we have a tree that's taller, that's also casting a shadow. The pole is 5 foot tall, and the shadow is 3 foot 4 inches. Okay, 3 foot 4 inches is not equal to 3.4. No. What is it equal to?
4 over 12, 1/3.
3 1/3. Because let me undo that. 3 and 4 over 12 equals 3 1/3. So it is not this. Okay, keep that in mind. So this is 3 1/3, and this is this is X, and this is 20, right? 20-foot shadow. Okay, so we really have two similar triangles that we have going on here. They're both right triangles. So whatever.
X over 5, or 5 over X, X over 5.
Whatever you want to do. Doesn't necessarily. X over 5, sure. Equals
3 1/3.
20 over 3 1/3.
Yep,
Okay.
that's what I meant.
20 times 5 is 100. 3 1/3 times X is 3 1/3 X.
X equals 30.
And divide by 3 1/3.
30.
And X is 30, you said? Exactly?
Not exactly. I mean 30.003.
Now, did you type in 3.3?
Just chill out.
What did you type in? Did you type in 3 1/3 exactly?
Just chill out, please. 33.3. That don't make any sense.
What?
No,
I got 100. So that's right either. So 100 divided by 3 1/3.
Mm-hmm.
I got 100.
100 divided by 3 1/3.
That's what it says to my calculator.
What are you talking about here?
Oh,
I know what you did.
This is fun, isn't it?
I don't know how to do that.
They're mowing the weeds off, but they're not even spraying them. I said somebody give me some Roundup. They need to really spray that.
Caitlin Carr got a brand new Jeep for her birthday.
I know.
That
This
is not
Caitlin
fair.
Carr over here upgrading to a Jeep, and I upgraded from a
She did have to do it
2004
before,
piece of
but,
crap
like,
to a 2009 piece of crap.
I have a
Whoa,
2008
don't
piece of
disrespect
crap
him.
too.
What even happened to that?
And one that I rammed into the back of my
Camille-
seat.
I got
I
.01.
did Buick, and it like.
I didn't find it on the camera. I needed to find where her car. You can't see me hit it, but you just see her car go pink and move backwards.
I'm
not sure.
I'm getting
I got
don't like-
.01.
Oh, it's doing 3 times 1/3.
Yeah, mine keeps doing that. Why is it
That's
doing
what
that?
yours
Because
is
I didn't put
doing.
those things in there, and it's doing it anyway.
So you might have to type yours in as 10/3. Like 10 over 3 rather than 3 1/3. Does that make sense?
Divide by second answer. I get 30 exactly.
30. It should be 30 exactly. If you type in 3 1/3 as 3.3, that's rounded, right? So you're gonna get like 30.000 something, right?
3 plus 1 divided
I got
by
1 over
3, and then
30.
go 100
It should be
divided by
30. 30 exactly.
How?
I don't want to go to wait.
30 40 exactly.
Scream.
No, there's
Can we go outside and have a group screen?
Okay. All right, find x. How do you find x on 21?
I just want to cry.
The Pythagorean.
How do you know you can use the Pythagorean theorem?
Because it's a Python.
Because it's a right triangle.
Because it's a right triangle. Right triangle.
Equals 17 squared.
Right triangle! Exclamation point. This one comes out perfectly,
Right
actually.
triangle factorial.
If you can remember your, triples. Which one is C? 17 has to be C.
So
Yep.
Oh my
x
gosh,
squared
this is an
plus
8, 15,
squared
17. That's a
equals
fancy one.
17 squared. And then you find out everything. 64.
289. Is that what it is? Whoa! I don't know why there's a plus sign. Or an equal sign, I mean. Plus.
And then you
My
minus
finger won't
64.
stop bleeding, guys.
You don't know.
225.
And that's 15.
Drink all my water.
15. It is an 8, 15, 17, which is one of the perfect triples that we wrote down the other day. Yesterday. 15. Good? Yeah, those ones are nice. Can I go to the next one?
So Katoa.
Okay. 22. Find sine, cosine, tangent of what angle?
J.
J. So circle J so you know which angle you're talking about because it makes a difference.
Oh, whoops.
What's happening here?
Whoops. Sine.
Oh, there we go.
24.
J. There we go. So label sine J,
Calculators in my
Over.
cosine J, tangent J. Okay, now here's what I'm gonna do. Don't do anything yet. Don't start yet.
Well, I did something.
Don't start
I
yet.
didn't do right.
Don't start yet. Let's label the sides because I'm gonna do something that's gonna help you out here just a second.
Okay.
J. What's opposite?
24.
What's hypotenuse?
40.
Adjacent is the other one. Okay. And sine is if you write down SOHCAHTOA, if you want to write that down.
I did.
SOHCAHTOA. Okay. Sine of J is opposite hypotenuse, which is 24 over 40. But we must reduce, right? What do both of those divide by?
2, 4,
8.
8. I was getting there.
You're
I got
getting
my
there.
2s.
24 divided by 8 is
3 over 5.
3 over 5. So rather than, watch this,
Over.
rather than putting those all up there and having to reduce all of them, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go to this triangle and I'm going to reduce each one of those and then I don't have to reduce later, right? Reducing once versus reducing 3 times. So this guy is 3, this guy is 4, this guy is 5.
5.
Yeah?
It's a 3, 4, 5.
It's a 3, 4, 5. You're exactly right. Cosine, adjacent over hypotenuse.
4 over 5.
4 over 5. Tangent, opposite over adjacent.
3 over
3 over 4. There you go. So it's reducing once versus reducing 3 times, right?
So when it says find sine, cosine, and tangent, we just have to do that and not type it into our calculator?
No. Just give me the fractions. Sine of J, cosine of J, tangent of J, just give me the
45, 45,
fraction.
90
Okay?
on the next one.
Right. Okay, 45, 45, 90. And then the next one is not anything. So let's do this one. This is a 45, 45, 90. Do you know what the sides of a 45, 45, 90 are supposed to
1
be?
square root of 2.
1, 1, square root of 2. Okay? 1, 1, square root of 2. So we can set this up as a proportion now.
So x over the square root of 2.
X over the square root of 2 equals
14 over 1.
14 over 1.
14 over 1. Okay?
14 square roots of 2. X equals 14 square roots of 2.
14 square roots of 2 equals x times 1 is just x, and then that's it, right?
Can we leave it at 14 square
You
roots
can
of
leave it as 14 square roots of 2. Okay, so this side is 14, this side will also be 14, right? And this guy will be 14 square roots of 2. That should make sense, right? Yeah? Okay? Now, if you don't remember how to do that and don't remember your 45, 45, 90 triangle, what could you do instead?
Just a SOHCAHTOA.
You could just use SOHCAHTOA with adjacent and hypotenuse, right?
Can
you
we
could do
write
that.
any other triangle?
You can do that.
The
The 30, 60, 90? Sure, let's write down 30, 60, 90. Okay, over
Right.
here as well. This is what he looks like. He's a little bit taller. Here's my 90-degree angle. And this guy is 60 and this guy is 30. And what are his sides?
1,
One, two squares of 3.
1, 2 square root of 3. Where does the 1 go?
The bottom.
The bottom. Where does the 2 go?
The
on
vertical
the tallest
side.
not the hypotenuse.
Yes.
Yes, the hypotenuse.
Gosh dang it.
The square root of 3? The square root of 3 is smaller than 2, right? It's like 1.4 something, right? Okay? So that's got to be the tall side versus the hypotenuse side,
I
yeah?
thought the tall side was the hypotenuse.
No, this is the hypotenuse side right here.
My bad.
Yeah? So that's got to be the biggest side because that's 2, okay? So you can compare them, any 30, 60, and under, any 45, 45, 90, you can just compare to those guys. Or you could do SOHCAHTOA, right? Which is what we're going to do in this next one. 24, here's SOHCAHTOA. 64 is my angle. What is X? Opposite, what is 11? Adjacent. Now, how do I know I can use SOHCAHTOA? Because it's a right triangle. That's the key, okay? Which trig function are we going to use?
64.
Tangent of
is
64.
equal to opposite x over.
Opposite
11.
goes first. 11 goes on the bottom.
Times 11, so 11 tangent. of
Times 11 times
64.
11.
22.6.
22.6. Okay. 22.6 is that side. Does that seem appropriate?
Yes.
Okay. If this angle's 64 up here, what would this angle be?
Just a minute.
26. Okay. So does it make sense that the angle that is 26 is opposite 11 while the angle that's 64 is opposite 22.6?
Yep.
Yeah. Right? The big matches with the big, the small matches with the small. Just kind of eyeball that when you're done with it just to see if it seems appropriate. You guys know when it's a bad answer. Like I've had people come and like, oh, I got like 3 as an answer. That's way too small, right? Or whatever, you know. Okay, good? All right, find the measure of angle T. Circle angle T. And how do we do this one?
Is it the law of sine or law of
No.
cosine?
No, this is still SOHCAHTOA again because it's a right triangle, right? What is 7? Opposite
Hypotenuse.
and hypotenuse, which is sine. But we do sine of what?
X.
Sine of T or sine of X, whatever you want to call it, equals
7 over 18.
7 over 18. Now, how do I get that T out of there? This is the only time you do this.
The inverse sign.
You do the inverse sign, right? That's the only time you use that second sign button. T equals inverse sine of 7 over 18. Inverse sine 7 over 18. That's the only time you do it is when you're finding an angle.
22.9.
22.9 degrees. Okay, beautiful. Okay, only time you use inverse sine or inverse cosine or inverse tangent is when you're solving for an angle. Okay, good? All right, 26. Solve the following triangle. Is this a right triangle? No, so SOHCAHTOA is out. Not a right triangle. No SOHCAHTOA. Nope, we can't do it. No SOHCAHTOA. All right, so we have to find, so when it says solve the triangle, it means find everything that's missing. So capital A, capital B, capital C, and then lowercase a, lowercase b, lowercase c.
Wait, I thought we already had the lowercase one.
We do, but I'm going to write them out just because it's easier to see. Okay, so Rachel just said A is 22. Is she right?
Yes.
Yes, because it goes opposite, right? A is
B
22.
20,
B is 20.
C is 16.
C is 16. Okay, and we have to solve for the angles, right? Ugh. Yuck. Do we have a group?
No.
No, which means we have to use the law of
Cosines.
cosines. I'm going to put the law of cosines here. Law of cosines is,
A.
I'm going to give you 2 formulas for the law of cosines. Can I do that?
Why?
Guys,
I mean,
I'm going to give you
sure.
something that's really nice and easy, so don't do anything with this yet, okay? The normal law of cosines is a squared equals b squared plus c squared minus 2bc cosine of a, yeah?
Wait. Let me write that down. A squared.
Oh, yeah, yeet.
Oh.
Oh, wait. Equals
B and W.
Let's do that.
What's going on?
Okay, alternatively, instead, this is the same formula but written a different way. And it's going to be nicer for you.
No. She's just standing there like looking at it. Wait,
So there's that. That is the same formula but written a different way.
I like the first way better.
I
like
yeah.
this way.
Yeah. So for this problem, we have to solve for an angle. And which formula is set up really nicely to solve for the angle? The second one. So use this when you're solving for an angle. Use this when solving for a side. Okay, there's that. Okay? Sides versus angle. Good? Okay, now I'm going to write my work up at the top here. And after we do one, it's easy. Okay? Good? Ready? All right. So we're going to set up and we're going to do cosine of, let's find capital A first. Cosine, capital A first. So what's B squared going to be?
20 squared plus 16 squared
16
minus
squared
22
minus 22 squared
over 220.
over 2 times 20 times 16.
So basically.
I don't have my calculator.
Okay.
It's in my car.
So 20 squared plus
A really funny story. My backpack spilled.
squared.
Okay, so do this whole big bubble. 20 squared plus 16 squared minus 22 squared over 2 times 20 times 16. Do that real quick. Emma.
I got
Yeah,
negative
I'm going.
76,784.
Just a minute.
Nope.
Wait.
Nope.
That's what I
Nope.
got.
Wait.
Oh,
Is this your
I did it
calculator?
wrong.
yeah.
I got point.
Woo! Okay, you need to, if you're going to type this in, you need to put this in here. Let me do this in a different color. Parentheses. Parentheses.
I got
There you go.
0.268.
Parentheses.
0.268?
Yeah.
Yes, that sounds better.
That doesn't sound right.
See if that's what everybody else gets. 0.268.
Oh, I hate when this happens. I'll just redo it all.
0.268.
Well,
Now,
269.
Let me do something. Hold on.
Oh, I remember my figure.
Okay, if you go,
I haven't
alpha,
cosigned it
and then
yet.
alpha button, green button, and then the
You
first
don't
button.
cosign it
And
until
you
the
enter.
opposite side of the equation. So you just hold the force.
That's how you do that.
Why did I get 27,520?
Because you did it wrong.
You didn't touch
Did you
me.
put
Use
parentheses on the
parentheses.
top? I did use parentheses.
On the bottom too?
Yeah. No.
I got 6,200.
Can I? Okay, now do you divide by cosine?
62,409.
Not divide by cosine.
Inverse. Okay.
Did anybody else get 0.268?
Yeah.
Yes? Yes? Okay, now to get A, the last thing that we have to do is inverse cosine. So A is equal to something.
74.4.
I got 0.263.
No. Point. Close enough.
74.4.
I got 0.2. How the heck? I got 0.22.
I got 0.26875.
I got 43 over 160.
No, 74.
Now push S to D.
She doesn't have an S button. So go to math and go fraction decimal. We want it into a decimal.
It's a 3 answer.
74.
70.4.4 degrees. Woo! That's a lot of work.
And now we go sine A over A. So sine of
I got 76.9. What did I
Why
do?
did I get 15? What are we doing?
About me.
Do you want to look at yours, Kelsey?
Yes, ma'am.
Guys, look, I did it all by myself.
I don't make calculator. I have no space.
20 squared plus 16 squared minus 22 squared.
I did that. I tried.
Divided by
I got
20 times
for
3.
cosine A. I got.
19.
My bad. I'm just like.
There you go. Okay, and then do second.
That is your bad, Kelsey.
All right. Thank you.
51.4 is the next one.
All right, so 74.4. Okay, now that we have a group, we can do the
Sine.
law of sines. Holy cow, and I'm running out of room to do that. The law of
I have
sines.
no more room to write.
I know.
That's what I got.
I'm going to write down over here because we don't need that much room for the next one. And the law of sines is really quick. So we have sine of A over A equals sine of B over B.
Sine A over what?
Sine A over A equals sine B over B.
20 sine
A little a.
74 over.
Okay, sine A over A equals sine B over B.
Okay, so then
I got 51.4, but then if you subtract those from 180,
Okay.
the C will be bigger.
All right, 20 sine of 74.4 equals 22 sine of B. But then you're going to,
Divide by sine 22.
no,
Oh, maybe that's
divide by
right.
just 22. Right?
Well, when I did that, I got.
We're so close. We're so close. What is 20 sine of 74.4 divided by 22?
0.875.
0.875. Okay, and then last thing,
Inverse.
inverse sine of that number. B is how much?
61.1.
61.1 degrees.
Someone's yelling in the hallway.
Everyone's dying.
And then you can just add those up and subtract.
Yes,
away.
then the easy part. We can just add them up and subtract from 180.
Anybody got that? I know. Go sit down, Schmidt.
What is it? 44.5 degrees. Okay, now do a little check. Smallest angle. Smallest side. Biggest angle, biggest side. Are they correct?
Yep.
Yes? So that looks good. Okay, good? That was a lot of work for that problem. I'm thinking on the test, I should go back and look. I'm thinking on the test that I, instead of saying solve the triangle, I just say find angle A. So you only have to do the first step of it. I'll have to go back and look. But I'm pretty sure I don't make you solve the entire triangle. I just say, so you would have been done after you find angle A, right? But in practice, we do like all of it, right? Just so that you know. What?
I'm gonna get lost.
You're going to get lost. Okay. All right. Solve another triangle down over here.
How about you?
Okay. All right. Here we go. This one's a little easier, though, I think. Capital A, capital B, capital C. I always write these out every single time. Lowercase a, lowercase b, lowercase c. It helps me to see what I have and what I need. Okay? Capital A, 37 degrees. What else do we know?
Little c is 12.
Little c is 12. Yep.
Big C is 78 and big B is 65.
Capital C is 78. And how do you know that capital B is,
Because I used my calculator.
what did you say, 60 what?
5.
65 degrees? Because
Add up to 180.
37 plus 78, I don't know if you need me to write this down. If you don't need to write this down, don't do it. 115, and then you subtract that from 180. If you know how we got the 65, don't worry about it. But I'm just writing that down just so that when you look at that and you're like, oh, I don't have steps for how we got 65, and your brain is dead. There you go, there it is. Okay? All right, so now what's the strategy here?
B squared plus C squared.
Basically just.
11.1.
That's the strategy.
Law of sines is sine A over A equals sine B over B.
Oh shit.
Sine A over
Okay.
A.
All right, so which grouping do we have?
C.
We have C's, right? So we're going to do sine of 78 over 12 equals, which one do you want to find? A or B? A. Sine of 37 over,
7.2.
okay? So we've got 12 sine of 37 equals A times sine of 78. Okay, and then divide by sine of 78. Okay, so what is this stuff right here? What's that come out to be?
What?
12 sine of 37 divided by sine of 78.
Are we
12 sine of
doing-
37.
Oh, it's 7.2.
Divided by sine.
Oh, 7.4. My bad.
7.4.
I got about
Okay.
7.4.
7.4.
I rounded down and so.
Okay,
That's on me, guys.
good.
That's my bad.
All right. Now, can we use SOHCAHTOA or can we use Pythagorean theorem to find the B?
Oh, I mean, I I did the other thing.
What? Can we use it to find B?
Yes.
It's not alright.
It's not a right triangle, right? So
Oh.
don't try to do that, okay?
I got you guys.
All right,
I
so
trusted
to find B, I'm going to use this same formula right here, but I'm going to plug B in instead. So sine of 78 over 12, I'm going to use that same thing again. But instead of A, I'm going to call it B, and I'm going to do sine of
65 over B.
65. Okay, and we do the same thing again. 12 sine of 65 divided by sine 78 equals B, and whatever that is.
It always will. Okay, so when
you.
you're
11.1.
11.1.
when you're finding the sines, you divide by sine, and when you're finding the angles, you take the inverse sine. I'm gonna
Yep.
write that down.
If you just, whenever you're solving for an angle, ever, when you're doing SOHCAHTOA or you're doing law of sines, you will always end up having to take the inverse sine. Always.
Inverse sine when
Or inverse cosine or inverse tangent, whatever trig function you have. If you're solving for an angle, it always involves inverse.
angle divide.
Okay?
I'm not gonna be
It
able
will
to
be.
read this.
It will be
Oh
a
my
mess.
God,
Yep.
I literally just was writing angles.
Oh, I know how to do this.
I was like, my hip hurts, so I wrote hip. Okay.
All right, now, smallest angle, smallest side, biggest angle, biggest side. Is it consistent?
Yes.
Yes.
What did she just say?
Angles? Inverse sine when finding angle.
You always use an inverse when you're solving for an angle.
Inverse sine when solving for an angle, divide by when solving for side.
All right, good. Moving on to the next one. 28.
Okay, now these I don't understand.
Okay, these you do understand. Determine whether it is a right triangle. If it is a right triangle, what happens?
They equal each other.
So
you take 18 squared plus 27 squared equals 31 squared.
Blank, 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 31. What's one blank?
Okay. Is it equal to? Is it greater than? Is it less than? Okay. So 18 squared, how much is that? I don't know these.
324.
324, 727 squared,
729.
729,
And
and 31 squared,
961.
961. So we've got
Wait,
961 in relationship to the other two added together is something.
1053 is those. Yeah.
Okay, 1053. So the two sides that I have are bigger than the biggest
so it's a
side.
Q.
This guy is my biggest side.
It's a Q.
this
Is a small side. My biggest side is a small side still.
So it's a Q.
So it is acute.
If it
You're
was
right.
less than, it'd be obtuse, and if it was equal to, it'd be right.
Wait, can I write those down?
Wait, so
You
if
can.
it's
Tell me.
so it's greater than, it's acute.
Wait,
Yes. No, wait. As long as you set it up this way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
wait, what is it?
And less than is obtuse, or no, less than.
Wait, can you write those down?
Obtuse and equal to
So I suppose.
Equal to is a right.
So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. That's right. Okay. A squared plus b squared less than c squared. Well, I'm a mess. Less than c squared. A squared plus b squared greater than c squared. Okay. So which one is which?
Obtuse is the second one.
Okay. This second one says my biggest side is a big side, right? Because it's on the big end. So if my biggest side is a big side,
It's obtuse.
it's obtuse. Okay? If my biggest side is a small side, like the third one, my biggest side is a small side still, it's going to be acute. Does that make sense? Okay, so not a lot of work to do there, really. But, whatever. Okay? Good?
Yeah.
Happy with that?
No.
No? All right. I'll pause for a moment.
My grandma.
Do we have
8
50,
more
50 questions? Is this 50 questions?
Yeah.
So we got to get through like, I don't know, 34 or something. What are we on now?
We are on 29 and we're going to.
So it'd be nice if we could just get this next page done.
How come it goes
How come it goes
30, 31, 32, 33, 44,
35, 36.
I don't know. This should be 34. I just had a typo.
It
doesn't auto-number it for me.
Number.
I didn't realize I didn't have it on the thing. I know. No. I wasn't purposely doing that. Okay, 29. Here we go. This is all about circles. Everything that we have to know about circles.
I don't like
Okay.
circles. They're kind
Oh, this is easy.
This is easy stuff. The diameter of circle A is 10 inches. Okay, so the diameter of circle A is, that means the radius is how big? 5. What's the radius of B?
No, it doesn't.
The radius is 4.
4, right? Because circle B is 8, and circle A is 10. So radius of 5, radius of 4. So I'm going to label stuff, and going from A out to this point, that's 5. And going from here to this point, that is 4. Do you see my labels? Yeah? Now I have the benefit of using
I
two
think
different
that's
colors,
like
so,
2
okay?
in the middle.
It's
So,
not 2,
they
yeah.
give me some other piece of information. The other thing they give me is what? AX is 3, okay? So from here to here is 3. So what's it from, what are we trying to find?
2. YB.
YB. Okay, so what is this little piece right here?
That's 2 too.
2 because it has to add up to be 5, right? And if that's 2, then the other one is 2 also because they have to add up to be 4. So YB is 2.
Well, that's nifty.
2 inches.
YB equals 2 inches. Yeah?
I don't
Okay.
like writing E's. They make me mad.
It's not hard as long as you can write it out and see what you're seeing, right?
I could never figure it out. I'm dumb.
Circle's a little bigger on the first.
Okay. I will try. Now on your test, I do not give you room to write on your test because you have your boxes that you write on, right?
Yeah.
So I do try to make your pictures a little bit bigger on the test just because I don't give you room to write.
We can still
I don't
write
have to
on
worry
the
about
test,
giving-
can't we?
What? You can still write on the test,
Just
yes.
put all our answers
Yes.
on the other.
Right.
tab.
Or
Yeah.
any work that you want me to grade, right?
Yeah. Because you give us partial credit for the work.
If you have part of it right, yes.
Okay, great.
Okay. Find the radius of a circle that has circumference of 36 meters. How do you find circumference of a circle?
Pi r squared.
No.
No, d pi.
2 pi r.
2 pi r or d pi. But since we're trying to find the radius, I'm going to write it as 2 pi r. Okay. So how do we do this? We know the circumference is 36.
So divide.
36 equals
2 pi r equals 36. And then
Divided by
I
2.
see. Or divide by 2.
divide by 2 pi.
Hey, she really
36 divided by 2 pi is something.
R equals
56.5.
Whoa, no.
That's what I got.
Divided by 2 pi.
I did divide it.
Oh. When you're dividing by 2 pi, put parentheses around the 2 and the pi because what your calculator is doing is it's dividing by 2 and then taking that number times pi. You want to divide by 2 pi.
5.7.
5.7?
Mine's I don't need to put parentheses.
7.3.
56.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you have a
put
good calculator.
parentheses around
So yeah,
the
mine
2 and the.
just does.
Yours just does what? Yep. Did you made yours into a fraction?
No, I used to 36 divided by 2.
Don't even talk.
Mine does.
Yeah,
Well, I
that's
love
kind of
that
nifty.
song.
5.7 meters is the radius. Okay? Good? All right, moving on.
I'll start sending that song to Maya.
31 is the measure of, what does this little symbol do? What's that little symbol
The
mean?
arc. The
That means
measure of the
arc. Arc DC. The measure of arc DC, is it a major, minor, or semicircle?
It's a minor.
But it's bigger than 90.
It's major.
I have no clue what it is.
Minor,
Major.
because
Minor,
I don't
because it's
remember
less
what-
than half a circle.
I
You
don't
were
remember
right.
what the circles were.
It's a minor, because it's less than half a circle. And it's equal to how many degrees?
It's not 180.
It's not.
It's not a semicircle.
Wait, Kelsey, wait. Wait.
Dude, I have spaghetti night tonight.
How many degrees is it? Find its measure.
I wanted
Kelsey,
that last night.
Kelsey.
100 degrees.
It's in there.
All right, it is minor and it's 100 degrees. Okay, what's the rule? Minor versus major.
If it's in the middle,
So you guys want to do the rest yourself?
If it's 180, it's a semicircle.
Semicircle's
The
180,
major arc's more than 180.
More than 180,
And
less than
minor arc
180.
is less than.
right?
oh, I
Do we-
thought
do we
were
need to write
saying
that?
How we found the 100.
Minor is less than 180. Major, you don't have to write this down if you don't need it, is greater than 180. Semicircle is equal to 180. Okay? So this one is minor and it's equal to 100 degrees. There you go. Okay?
So, for like finding the angle, it's just.
It's the same as the central angle. Okay? Now, if if this circle,
Later in the-
hold on, just wait a second. If this circle was all the way across here and this was 100
That's
degrees,
divide by 2.
yeah, it would be like, this would be 200.
Yeah.
So it would be double, right?
Yeah.
So, anyway.
And if it's
But we'll write this down. Just wait. We'll write this down here in just a second because we're going to have all those rules, all right? So, number 32. This one says find the measure of arc LM. Not just
So
how many
it's-
degrees it is.
it's
How many
something
degrees is
out of
LM?
360.
100.
LM is 100 degrees.
So 100.
Teachers and students, they're working on the alarm system, so if you're hearing a beeping, it's okay. They're here working on that.
You're not done.
It's something times 100 out of 360.
Yes, something times 100 out of 360, right? Because we want to find the measure of it, okay? So, if I'm talking about the measure of this arc, now listen to this real quick. The measure of that arc, this arc is a piece of the outside edge of the circle. And what's the outside edge of the circle called?
The radius is 5, so it's 2.
The circumference, right?
Oh,
We are finding a piece of the circumference,
So would we just 2
okay? So 2 pi r
Is 31.4.
2 pi r times 100 over 360, right?
Times 100 over
How many?
It
Inches.
is 8.7.
8.7 inches, okay? All right, I'm going to go back over in my diagram and see how reasonable that sounds. What's the radius again?
5.
So this length right here, from here to here is 5. Does it make sense that from here to here is 8.7?
Yes.
Does that look bigger than 5? Yeah. And I mean, it's bent, but yeah, 8.7 seems like a reasonable answer. Okay, 8.7 inches. Good?
Good.
Okay. All right.
Oh, I hate these.
You hate these.
I don't know how
These
to
I
do
like.
them.
These are okay. These are okay. This one's
Okay, we're going to look at all three of these at the same time. So 33, 34, 36. One of them is an add divide by 2, one of them is a subtract divide by 2, and one of them is a just divide by 2.
subtract divide by 2 is 36.
Nope.
What?
No, that's
That's-
34.
Just divide by 2 is
33.
36.
No, that's
34, 36.
I
I have absolutely no
What?
clue.
Okay, so let's look at 34 first.
Not.
Look at 34
Add
first.
divide by 2.
This is 120. This is 140. We're trying to find the measure of this angle right here.
I wasn't
60,
talking
so it's
to anybody.
100.
Nobody talks to
Divide
me.
by 2.
So you know
This
what?
one is 100
God,
degrees.
listen.
So what's the measure of angle R?
50.
50.
Yeah, you add
I'm a-
Angle R equals 50. This one is just divide by 2.
Well,
Because there's no two arcs. You use the 2 arcs to find the missing arc. So it's just the 100 divided by 2.
I was looking
I
at
mean,
36.
you still add those two.
Well,
Oh,
kind
well,
of.
is it?
Yes, yes.
Should it?
But you're not adding 2 of them together to divide by 2. Right.
You wanna smell my hands?
No.
No.
Okay, that one's just a divide by 2. Yeah?
Well, I would give you.
Let's go down to
So
this
that's
one.
only
But I
260
don't know
plus
where.
100. Oh, no, I'm stupid. I'm stupid.
Right, okay, so maybe we're at that workout. 120 plus 140.
No, I was stupid.
Equals
I was
260,
thinking that it's supposed to be
subtract.
380, not 360.
My hand sanitizer spilled.
I was thinking
There's
380.
magic in the air all over my back.
Okay? All right, 36. 3 left.
Wasn't that the con?
We got 5 minutes. We got 3 left. Let's go.
Fine. Oh, shoot.
The measure of angle 2. We
This
know
is-
that this is 48 and this is 38.
This is
Okay?
added
Now,
by
here's the
50.
deal. I want to know what, like, this angle is. But the problem is that these 2 angles have to be the same. So, like, this can't be 48 and this can't be 38 because they have to both be the same. So, which one is it?
Add divide by 2.
This is where you find the average of the 2, right? This is an add divide by 2. So 48 plus 38
43.
divided by 2 is what?
43.
43. But 43 is this guy and this guy. I want to find this one. So 180 minus 43 is 137. Check me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Correct.
This one is an add divide by 2. When it looks like that, it's an add divide by 2. That's the strategy. Okay, which means that this one,
Is
where they're
subtract
intersecting on
divide
the
by
outside, is a subtract divide by 2.
Not do 33.
That's what we're going back to. Okay?
Kelsey.
So angle Y.
I need your computer.
This is a subtract divided by 2. Well, what are you subtracting?
100 minus 60. Or
105
105
minus 63 divided by 2.
40. Oh, divided by 2. 21.
21? Is that the final answer? It's 21? Or do we have to do something with that?
No, that's the final answer.
That's the final answer. We don't have to subtract him. The only reason why we had to subtract him over here was because that was the angle that we didn't want, right? We wanted angle 2. So this one is a subtract.
Divide by 2.
Divide by 2.
And now we have one page that we can do.
Okay.
And then
35, one more.
Oh, whoops.
We got 35 yet.
8.
Okay.
8.
All right, what's the strategy here?
Well,
No,
is
that's
there,
like
well,
Do
Ice
is there
cream
cone?
No.
cones.
Yeah. Or, well,
These
yeah,
are ice cream
I think you're
cones.
gonna do something.
So if you're looking at ice cream cones,
That was
like
18
this is
to
14,
28.
this is also 14. There's an ice cream cone.
26
X
minus
equals
18.
18 and 18. Okay? That means if this is 26, this has to be 8, and this has to be 8. So X is 8.
80.
Our entire test should just be that.
Just this.
Yeah.
This one is 22. 18 plus 14 is 32. And this guy's 26. 26 plus 22 plus 32 is 80. Exactly?
Yeah. X equals 8 and then.
Perimeter.
Perimeter is 80.
X equals 8. The perimeter is 80.
What a day.
Okay, what a day. There you go. All right, tomorrow we'll have the rest.